Mercedes. We'll go ahead and get started. As a reminder, we have lots of questions on the Zoom. So let's limit to 2 to start, and then we'll come back around to anybody who still has questions after that. Percy, go ahead, and then Jeff Brown, you're after that.
Hey, the first question for NECA. Hey, just winning 5 or 6 games before the playoffs and doing it without 2 of your starters in the last 3. Do you feel that your team is peaking as you get to the postseason, and just your overall thoughts on kind of where you guys are at now?
Yeah, I personally don't really subscribe to the idea of peaking, I guess you could say. I think that there's obviously ebbs and flows to a season. There's consistencies, whether they're good consistencies or areas of improvement. But I do feel as though that these last few games, the rhythm we've been playing in is good going into the playoffs. And also specifically, obviously, without 2 of our starters, it's giving people opportunity to get out there and and to contribute in the way we know that they can. And that's what I feel best about. I think being able to win while also having people feel good about being out there is most important going into the postseason.
And then for Sadie's, how is this team that could take into the playoffs? If you can sort of compare and contrast it to the last time that you went with the Storm, I mean, there's so many changes, and yet here you are again. And just your thoughts on just this team compared to the last time that you went to the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I definitely wouldn't compare them just because, each season the team is so different, just roster, etc. So I think this team this year, it's special. Obviously, adding NECA and Skylar was huge for us in the offseason, and it's paid off. We've made our way to the postseason, and that's somewhere we weren't last season. So we're just excited to obviously end tonight with the 40th game, but we're still continuing to play. We know we have a game on Sunday, so I think we're just excited the fact that, this season we're making that playoff push, and we're playing really good basketball at this point.
There you go. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Percy. Let's go to Jeff Brown, and then we'll go to Christian. Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, first for Sadie's. With Ezzy being out injured, you got a lot more playing time towards the end of the season. How much do you think that'll benefit you going into the playoffs, and especially matching up potentially against Asia Wilson?
It's huge, not just for myself, but I think for our whole team overall. It just presents more opportunities for a lot of players, and we were able to go deep, obviously, and play everyone on our bench tonight. And missing Jewel and Ezzy is huge, so I think everybody really stepped up and played the full 40 minutes. And obviously, that's going to be huge for us postseason. Just not really knowing the status of them right now, but our roster as it is pretty strong. And like I said, we're just really excited to still be playing after today.
Definitely. And NECA, I know you talked to us last game about needing to kind of work on that zone offense, and I thought, obviously Phoenix played a zone as well against you guys. How much do you think that'll benefit you guys going back up against Vegas? And what did you like about your offense today?
I think that's something we're going to see in the postseason for sure. I think today was better, albeit we had an 8-point second quarter, and that's not something that we want to see. And they were in mostly zone, and it was a result of that zone. So being able to just be more confident, less analytical in the zone. I think that sometimes we overanalyze the fact that we're having to run offense against the zone, but it's going to be beneficial for us because we've played the last 2 games with people zoning us up, and then we also have video to be able to watch and be better before we hit our first playoff game on Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies.
Let's go Christian, and then Kevin Pelton.
First question is for NECA. NECA, I believe it was that first Sun game a couple weeks ago. You said you felt like the mentality and the approach between some of your teammates that haven't really been to the playoffs often, and then the ones that the vets coming like Mercedes, that was kind of the mindset that separated you guys between that kind of play now or then and now. How do you feel going to the playoffs with the way everybody's playing? Mercedes with the 14-4, I believe, tonight. Jordan with a double-double off the bench. Great points from Sammy.
Yeah, I think, it still stands. Having people with that type of experience, that type of playoff experience, and being able to play at that level in the season is really important. We have a lot. We have champions on this team. We have Olympians on this team. We have people who've gone to the finals, and that type of experience is something that is necessary to be able to sustain longevity in the playoffs. And I'm very comfortable and confident about my teammates that have that experience and that have shown these last few games what it takes for us to be able to play well in the postseason.
And Mercedes, over the last couple of games in particular, coach has spoken very highly of the bench, but mostly you, with your ball handling techniques and really just your defensive capabilities that kind of don't reach open the box score. Just wondering, could you speak to your abilities and how relied upon you're going to be in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, usually not about but just willing to help with the team with whatever needs to be done, just like the small things. Playing hard, setting good screens, like the little intangibles that go into the game that nobody really knows. Our bench is accustomed to a lot of that, but overall, like there's a lot of stats in a basketball game that you don't see that, obviously as basketball players we notice. So just being present and being available and being ready at any moment.
Thank you.
Let's go to Kevin and then Bella. Kevin, go ahead.
Hey, for both of you, what was the reaction or excitement to seeing Nika get her first career points tonight?
Did you see us on the bench?
We were lit. We were excited. It was really cool. She got the steal, made a layup, so we were really happy for her, excited, and obviously she has a lot more to come in the future. And as a team, everybody was just really happy for her.
And then, we don't know whether this was Diana's last game or not, but what has playing against her meant to both of you over your careers?
It's made me a better player, definitely. It's definitely made me a better player. I've had also the pleasure of being able to play with her in Team USA, so being able to be one of very few to say that they could play with her and against her, I consider it a privilege.
Yeah, same. I'm just really thankful. Obviously, one of the best guards in history, one of the best players to ever play in the W, so just really thankful to have that competition. I've obviously never been her teammate, but competed for the time that I've been in the league, so just very thankful for what she's done, left her mark, and, made the league better.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kevin. Let's go to Bella and then we'll go to Mike. Bella, go ahead.
Just one question for me, for you, Sadie's. You've been around Noelle Quinn as a player, as an assistant coach, now as a head coach. Just wondering what has impressed you most about Noe as a coach and maybe how you've sort of seen her grow over that time.
Oh, man, I think I would definitely say just that transition from a player to a coach. I've obviously never been in that position, so all I could do is really imagine how hard it is. I was her teammate my rookie year, so it's just been a whirlwind to be teammates, and then she was assistant coach, and now she's our head coach. So just full circle for me, It's been really cool just having that experience. Obviously coming in, I was young, she was a vet, so she's helped me, and just to have a black woman as my head coach is a really awesome thing in this league. So just thankful for her and our relationship that we've had, and obviously it continues to grow over time, but it's been really cool, and I'm thankful for Noelle.
Thank you.
Yep.
Let's go to Mike. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, question for NECA. I'm just curious, I'm sure joining a group with so many new pieces this season, I'm sure it's been a process of kind of learning each other and learning what this group does well, what the identity is. With 40 games of evidence, I'm wondering, what would you say is kind of the formula for this group when you guys are really rolling? What has to be the formula going forward in terms of what you guys hang your hat on?
I think that our offense and defense are kind of symbiotic. Now, obviously, if you get steals and all this stuff, you can get out. But I really do think that the identity of our team is being able to have that relationship between what we do on defense and what we do on offense, and it benefiting the other side of the ball. And the way that we can do that is by not having paralysis by analysis. I think sometimes when we think too much about what we need to do, we don't necessarily do what we need to do. And just being able to flow, and I don't want to say play freely, but play a little bit more instinctually is what I feel is our best basketball here with this team.
Thank you.
We have time for one more question. Let's go back to Jeff and we'll wrap up.
Yeah, just a question, some words from both of you on, I know you guys were on different teams last year, but it was kind of struggles for both the Sparks and the Storm. last year, and to win 25 games this season, kind of what does that mean for each of you?
Shoot, I was like, man, I can't believe we played 40 games.
Like, sheesh.
40
It felt like it
games?
flew by, but we had a break.
Right.
No, yeah, I don't know. We're both just thankful. Obviously, we're very thankful that NECA joined us this year to be on our team, and then it's like a 360. Last year we were both at the bottom, and now we made ourselves back into the playoff push. So we're just excited, and like you were talking about, our team has so much experience. Like, we have people that have been to the finals, won, lost, Olympians. Like, the roster is just crazy. So just to be back in that position and have the opportunity, we're obviously very thankful, but also excited. Like, we're ready to compete. We played so hard this season just to make it here, and so we're just excited to, like I said, keep playing after today, because there's several teams where their season ended, and we're still going to have an opportunity, so we're just very excited, for sure.
Thank you, ladies. We appreciate your time.
Thank
We'll
you.
go in here in just a minute.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Good luck in playoffs.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started with Coach. And let's open it up to questions here. We'll start with Percy, and then we'll go to Kevin Pelton. Percy, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. I guess with the exception of that second quarter there, if you could sort of draw this game up, would this be the type of game that you would have drawn up with that big first quarter and then just some struggles, but able to have your starters on the bench in that fourth?
Yeah, definitely. I thought that we started the game off really with a lot of passion, a lot of desire, and the execution was very sharp. That kind of gave us a big cushion to do a lot of things, even subbing early, and still finding like our rotation for NECA, Sky, and Gabby to get some minutes. We talked about it before the game. All the reps were going to be meaningful reps for everybody, whether it's staying in rhythm. Sadie's, playing 20 straight minutes was huge. Tori coming in, knocking some threes down, and I think this is just it was an important part of the process, and keeping those guys under 30 minutes was pretty good as well.
And obviously this game just ended, but it's now the postseason now. Just your maybe thoughts now that you can see Las Vegas, that they are the opponent. It's not a what if. It's not a could be. Just your early thoughts on playing Vegas again in the postseason.
We have to go through the best to get to where we want to be. mean, word on the street is they wanted to play us or they preferred to play us. Cool. Bring on the matchup. We have to really prepare, not just our minds, but our bodies to get ready for battle. I thought today, also going back to your last question, we got some meaningful reps with our zone stuff. I think that's going to be important when we face Vegas because we are going to see zone. It's not going to be a secret about that. Now it's a matter of just executing that. The reality of it is Vegas are the defending champs. They have a lot of firepower. They have a lot of reps together and experience and have been through the trenches. We have yet to go through the trenches as they have, but a game like this kind of shows us who we can be. To prepare us for postseason, we're going to need everybody from 1 through 11. In order to beat Vegas, we have to have an A+ effort. Period. We can't show up and think that we can not have the correct mindset or whatever the case may be in order to compete with them and even beat them. So all of our preparation turns to Vegas right now. Let's throw the ball up and let's hoop.
There you go. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Let's go to Kevin and then Jeff Brown after that. Kevin, go ahead.
With Jewel being questionable tonight, how close was kind of the decision, and how did that go down as far as not playing her?
Yeah, it was honestly after shoot around. I think that just the awareness of we want her to be ready to go for playoffs, and I know I talked a lot about rhythm, but the reality of it is have to be smart in these moments as well. The progress is good though. She will play if that's the question, and there's no question about that. But now we have a couple of more days to prepare and get our bodies right for that moment.
Good to hear. And then seeing Nika get her first basket and the reaction of the team, what was that like?
I'm so proud of her. Like, she works so hard. I know you guys see it and feel it because of who she is. But I'm talking about just the stay ready games, the 3-on-3 during days off, the extra film sessions, the shooter. Like, she's constantly on the court and constantly preparing herself. So. It took game 40 for her to get her first points, but better later than never. The team reacted in such a great way, and that's what it's about. She's a young player in this league who is on a team who's competing for a championship, and she has to be prepared and stay ready. And I think she's done an excellent job of that and taking it all in stride. So I'm happy for her that it came today. In front of her coach. Coach Ariema was here as well, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Jeff Brown and then Christian. Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, you touched on it slightly, but going up against the zone defense, obviously you had to do it again tonight against Phoenix. How beneficial do you think that will be, the fact that you had to play against it right away again before your matchup against Vegas, and what did you like about what your team did offensively today?
Yeah, like I said, I think we got some meaningful reps, and going against that zone is what was so meaningful because we are figuring out how to attack it, and it's obviously been something that we haven't executed well, but when we're able to shoot the three at a high level, but also create some advantages in the zone, I think we are going to find ways to beat it. Part of that is also what we do defensively. So when we're able to get stopped and run, teams aren't able to set up in their zone. And so we have to have some knowledge with that. But just schematically, when we're in the half court, I thought that we found where our shots can come from. We found the holes, and I thought we did a better job in the third and fourth quarter against it.
Mm-hmm. And Mercedes had a season high in points, and with Ezzy being out these past few games, Mercedes has been able to get some good run, good experience. How important is that going to be, and especially against a potential matchup against A'ja Wilson?
Yeah. Again, the theme was meaningful reps. She played 20 straight minutes in the first half, and the matchup was conducive to her because it's BG. Size-wise, we needed her in that area, as well as Mac. In the previous game, Stokes was, first matchup, but also she had some bump against Asia as well. Sadie's is a champion, and she knows how these playoffs look and feel, and we're going to need her at her best. I always talk about her mind for the game, but now it's like her aggressive level has to turn up even more. She has to be a threat on the court. And I think, she's going to be key against our zone attack as well, whether it's her flashing in the middle or being a playmaker. So the meaningful reps translated to a lot of good things for her. The rebounding that she did the other night, being aggressive and hitting the shots that she missed the other night. I think, we're going to rely on her we're going to need her production if we're going to even have the opportunity to beat the Aces.
Thank you, Coach.
Christian, and then we'll wrap up with Alberto.
Hey, so congrats on the win. In the first half, especially in the second half, you can kind of see the pride of the defense and reserves getting to work, especially Mercedes are 14-4, joining with a double-double, 18 minutes, sent Hammy with some timely buckets. Can you just speak to how important it is for your bench to be playing this well, going to a series against the East in the first round?
It's very important because, stars and superstars may cancel each other out. It's what your others are going to do. So how our others perform in their minutes, it matters, whether it's what they do offensively, what they do defensively, being locked into execution after timeout, the game within the game. We're going to need everyone, and especially those rotational pieces. We understand that it's playoff basketball, so things tighten up a little bit, but also from game to game, there can be matchups that we like and see. You may get 20 minutes, you may get 5. Everyone has to be ready and be ready to perform, show up. This is go time. We don't really have a lot of leeway to feel through the game. Coming in and seeing Sammy, knock some shots down, seeing Joyner's activity, getting a double-double, like these are the things that we know we have in the locker room. It's just a matter of showing it consistently.
And the record may look nice compared to last year, that's for sure. But there's been a lot of, trials and tribulations to get to where you are now. First part of the season, then Olympic break, coming back, trying to rejuvenate that kind of mojo that you guys had in the first half. Can you just speak to your team's resiliency and the way you guys perform, especially as of late without 2 of your bigger stars?
Yeah, it shows that we have high character players in our locker room. They're very competitive, and the resiliency doesn't just come with what we see in a 40-minute game. The resiliency comes with the commitment to continue to work, do the extra work, prepare your bodies for the grind. Like you said, like our season, a season in general isn't going to be all perfect. But through the highs and the lows, I think we've found ways to remain afloat, whether it be our defensive activity and intensity and how our defense has sustained us, or whether it be finding ways to find our rhythm offensively and seeing 90 on the board. These are things that we've done throughout the year that maybe haven't been consistent, but now when the season is 0-0, let's see what happens when we put it all together, and the experience and the reps and the adversity, like all of that, like this is the reward to be in postseason play and to have an opportunity to compete for a championship. So kudos to our group. The work is not done, it's just beginning, and I'm excited for it.
This is what matters most, right, Coach? Thank you.
Absolutely.
And let's go to Roberto to wrap it up.
It's kind of a quick turnaround for the first game on Sunday. How does the team get ready, and how do you make sure that everyone is on their best health for that game?
Yeah, I would say I thought it was quick if we had the early game, but I love that we have the late game. I'll say that because now we have 2.5 kind of days if you throw in the shoot around for preparation. The other good thing about playing Vegas is that we just played them, so We know how it feels, we know how it looks, we know where we have deficiencies in against them, and we know where we can find our niche and have some success against them. So it is a pretty quick turnaround, but this isn't the quickest that we've seen during the season. We've been a part of back-to-backs, we've been a part of game, day off game, and I actually like the fact that we have a couple of more hours to get our bodies right. So I'm okay with the time in between. I think we'll be okay, we'll be ready.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, Coach. For those of you
Yeah,
on
what,
Zoom,
you good? You good?
oh,
Okay.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry.
For those of you on
Safe
Zoom,
travels. Good luck in the
just
playoffs.
a heads up
Appreciate it.
for media availability